Welcome to our video series where we unravel the puzzle of plant operations. I'm Ryan Chan, CEO and founder of UpKeep. Today we are going to shed some light on the mysteries that often surround plant operations. We will break down the impact of these operations on our lives, take a look at some fascinating facts and figures, and explore how these operations have evolved over time. Plus, we'll give you a sneak peek into the future of plant operations. Are you ready for this journey? Let's unveil the secrets of plant operations and their massive influence on our world. Plant operations are like a mystery novel to the general public. Most people have no idea what happens behind those gates and smokestacks. Even those who work there may only see a part of the operations and may not be curious about the rest. But did you know that plant operations have a significant impact on our lives? Over the years, immense advances have been made, improving the working conditions and lives of the plant staff and employees. Quality control, production speed, local and global safety awareness, and more have all improved substantially. Unfortunately, the media today generally tends to focus on when things go wrong. The public rarely highlights when everything is running smoothly, with no adverse effects on the employees, the towns nearby, or to the overall environment. This has led to a negative impression of plants and plant operations. But let's change that perception today. Let's take a look at the present, the past, and the future of plant operations, and how they impact everyone locally, regionally, and globally. To begin, let's understand that the manufacturing industry, and by extension the local plants and plant operations, suffers from a large knowledge gap. Most people either know a lot about it, as it's their day job, or don't know anything about it, except some perceptions they get from the local news or their personal experiences. And it can be very hard to bridge that divide. So let's start with three main touch points of plant and manufacturing operations that everyone can understand. Firstly, let's talk about some general statistics and facts. Did you know that manufacturing in the United States drives a significant amount of economic output, totaling 11.6% in 2018? It adds value to the US dollar, employs over 8% of the American workforce, and pays well compared to similar jobs across the board. It's projected that 4.6 million manufacturing jobs will be needing workers in the next decade. However, despite these promising statistics, many companies and facilities are struggling to find qualified workers. This is largely due to a negative public perception. While Americans as a whole support the manufacturing industry, they don't necessarily want their children to enter it. This perception, coupled with worries about job security, increases the general uneasiness about manufacturing and plant operations as possible career pathways. Now, let's look at some of the local statistics and challenges that current plants and plant operations are facing. Today, the majority of manufacturing plants are still small, with the majority of manufacturing firms having 1 to 4 employees. The United States Department of Labor only requires power plant workers to have a high school diploma or an equivalent in order to work, and other plants typically don't require more. Some of the current challenges include a declining workforce, hurried expansion, finding talent, and the competitive global market. This wasn't always the case. Historically, the global marketplace barely existed at all. When it did start, it was never before on the scale that it exists today. Now that we have a good understanding of the present, let's dive into the history of plant operations and how they became what they are today. The history of manufacturing spans through eras filled with factories, equipment, mobility innovations, and more. Some key milestones include Samuel Slater building the first factory in America in 1790, Eli Whitney creating interchangeable parts in 1798, and Oliver Evans patenting a high-pressure steam engine in 1804. The Industrial Revolution took off between 1820 and 1870, with multiple inventions being created, including the light bulb, telephone, sewing machine, and combustible engines. This was followed by American manufacturing, becoming a system between 1850 and 1890. Fast forward to the early 1900s, Henry Ford's innovations in assembly lines and the Model T revolutionized the industry. In the 1930s, Toyota pioneered lean manufacturing. The 1950s saw the true beginnings of automation. The 1960s saw the development of overall equipment effectiveness standards. Fast forward a bit more, and we see the creation of the Occupational Safety and Health Act in 1971, the introduction of industrial robots in 1973, and the peak of American manufacturing industry employment rates in 1979, The 1980s saw the rise of computers in plants and factories. In 1995, Six Sigma was implemented at GE. The U.S. Manufacturing Enterprise Integration Act was passed in 2002, and 3D printing entered the manufacturing world in 2013. So, what's next? What do the plant operations of tomorrow look like? The plants that are closest to the future generally tend to focus on three things: improving efficiency rates of expensive, fixed-priced assets, filling their needs for skilled labor, and protecting their profit margin in an increasingly competitive world. Some of the ways that this is happening today include implementing machine learning in various forms, automating more and more processes, switching to digital platforms to manage their companies, exploring augmented reality, and working with the convergence of the Internet of Things and operational technologies. As for the future, it's predicted that the public's perception has to change if manufacturing jobs are going to stay in the United States. Technology, like 3D printing, is here to help manufacturing, plants, and plant operators. The future of plant operations is exciting and holds a lot of promise. Whether it becomes completely automated, integrated fully into the precise needs of consumers, or opens the doors to a world that has still not been dreamed of, it will be an exciting ride. And that brings us to the end of our journey today. We've broken down the complexities of plant operations, looked at their history, and peeked into the future. We hope this has given you a better understanding of the vital role plant operations play in our lives and economy. If you found this video informative and want to learn more, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We appreciate your time and thank you for watching. For more insights and resources, please visit our website at upkeep.com. Until next time, keep learning and stay curious.